Does sometimes you have to sort of take a step back and go, wow, they're talking about me. This is my life.
I try to now more so than when I first started. I actually saw an interview we did, and I could hear how exhausted I was.
She's known for her grace, her silence, and her reign. But even Queen Bey has a hit list. Behind the polished red carpets and flawless performances lies a world of quiet revenge, hidden rivalries, and behind-the-scenes drama. These aren't just industry rumors. They're the stories the BeyHive never forgets. So what happens when Beyoncé decides to cut you off? Because this is the side of Beyoncé the cameras don't show. These are the top 7 artists Beyoncé hated the most. Let's begin with number 1, Carrie Hilson. Imagine being on the brink of R&B stardom, chart-topping singles, major collaborations, and your name buzzing through the industry. That was Carrie Hilson in 2009. But almost as quickly as she rose, she vanished. And many still believe the reason was Beyoncé. It all traces back to the leaked remix of Carrie's hit song, Turning Me On. In the verse, she sang, "You can dance, she can sing, but need to move it to the left." The line felt like a direct shot at Beyoncé's irreplaceable, and the BeyHive went into full attack mode. Fans labeled her a hater. Memes flooded Twitter. Radio DJs started to shade her. And just like that, Carrie Hilson became the internet's villain. But here's where it gets even messier. Years later, Carrie revealed that she didn't even write that verse. In a 2023 interview, she said she was forced to sing it by producers who wanted to stir drama.
So I tried to fight him on it, and it was quite forceful.
Songwriter Esther Dean eventually stepped forward too, admitting she co-wrote the diss and took responsibility. Still, the fallout crushed Carrie's momentum. She was booed at shows. She refused to hold a Beyoncé magazine on a red carpet, and the clip went viral for all the wrong reasons. Insiders whispered she'd been blackballed. Her sophomore album never came, and her silence spoke volumes. "It's a regret," she said years later.
It's a regret, but not in the way that people would think.
Not in money, but in lost moments, missed opportunities, and a career that never had the chance to finish what it started. Next is number 2, Kanye West. Back in 2009, Kanye West made headlines for interrupting Taylor Swift at the MTV VMAs to defend Beyoncé. He stepped on stage, mid-acceptance speech, and declared that Beyoncé's video was far more deserving.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time.
It was chaotic, controversial, and seen by many as an act of loyalty toward Beyoncé. But just 7 years later, that loyalty shattered on stage in Sacramento. During a 2016 concert, Kanye abruptly paused his performance and launched into an unscripted tirade. He claimed that MTV had tipped him off ahead of time that Beyoncé would win Video of the Year. According to him, she had allegedly refused to perform unless she was guaranteed the win over him and Drake.
Beyoncé, I was hurt because I heard that you said you wouldn't perform unless you won Video of the Year over me and over Hotline Bling.
Then, in a moment that left the crowd frozen, he dragged Jay-Z into the mix. He begged Jay to call him and accused him of staying silent about their issues.
Jay-Z, call me, bro. You still ain't called me.
He even made an alarming comment suggesting that Jay had dangerous people around him.
Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me.
The audience didn't know how to react. Some booed, others left the arena altogether. Online, the backlash was instant. The BeyHive turned on him. Fans accused Kanye of being supportive only when Beyoncé wasn't standing in his way. The betrayal hit hard. From that moment forward, Beyoncé and Jay-Z cut all visible ties. No joint appearances, no collabs, just silence. Kanye went from shouting her praises to airing private grievances in front of thousands, and Beyoncé responded the way she always does when she's done, by disappearing from his orbit completely. Number 3 is Tiffany Haddish. It started with a selfie and ended with a silent exile. In 2018, Tiffany Haddish was riding high on her breakout success. She found herself at an exclusive after-party hosted by Jay-Z and Beyoncé, a place where cameras are discouraged, and what happens in the room stays in the room. Except this time, it didn't. Tiffany shared a now viral selfie with Beyoncé, smiling ear to ear while Bey tucked her face into Haddish's wig. At first, it seemed harmless, but the story behind the picture, that's what blew everything up. In a string of interviews, Tiffany detailed wild moments from that night, including a physical altercation she nearly got into, Bey stepping in to calm her down, and most shockingly, that someone allegedly bit Beyoncé on the face. Fans and media exploded trying to figure out who the mystery biter was. Beyoncé's team refused to comment, but soon after, Bey dropped a bar on DJ Khaled's track, Top Off, that felt like a direct shot. If they're trying to party with the Queen, they're going to have to sign a non-disclosure. The message, loud and clear. Still, Tiffany wasn't feeling moved. Instead of backing down, she seemed flattered. In interviews, she said she was thrilled that Beyoncé even mentioned her in a song.
I made it! Beyoncé put my name in the song!
But just like that, Tiffany vanished from the Carter circle. No more invites, no more selfies, no more trust. In Beyoncé's world, privacy isn't just power, it's protection. And when you break that code, you're out for good. Coming in at number 4, Azealia Banks. Some artists throw shade once and move on, but Azealia Banks, she turned it into a full-time job. Loud, unpredictable, and completely unfiltered. Banks has never been afraid to take shots at the biggest names in music. And Beyoncé, she became one of her favorite targets. In 2018, Banks publicly accused Beyoncé of stealing choreography from her music video for Count Contessa. She claimed that one of her former dancers had joined Bey's team and allegedly passed along her original creative concepts, ideas Banks believed had been copied and repurposed for Beyoncé's stage performances. But that was just the opening act. She later criticized Lemonade, arguing that Beyoncé had capitalized on the pain of Black women for commercial success. And more than that, Banks accused her of ripping off the entire aesthetic and creative energy of underground, darker-skinned, Black female artists, without ever giving them credit.
Beyoncé literally ripped y'all shit off the internet, like didn't really give y'all no credit. And y'all are just be on here all.
In her now deleted Instagram rants, Banks called Beyoncé a and accused her of faking her connection to African-American struggles to maintain cultural relevance. And then came the lowest blow. Banks posted that Beyoncé should stay under Jay-Z's foot where she belongs. A line so vicious, even her own followers called her out for crossing it. The backlash was swift. The BeyHive unleashed a digital storm of BeyHive emojis and callouts, dragging Azealia across every platform. But Beyoncé, she remained silent. Not a post, not a lyric, not a glance. And that's what made it sting even more. While Azealia begged for attention with insult after insult, Queen Bey did what she always does, elevated above the noise and let the silence cut deeper than any clapback ever could. Moving on to number 5, Jennifer Hudson. They lit up the screen together, but when the curtains closed, only one walked away with the gold. In 2006, Beyoncé and Jennifer Hudson co-starred in Dreamgirls, a film loosely based on the rise of Motown girl groups. Beyoncé played Dina Jones, the polished lead inspired by Diana Ross. But it was Jennifer Hudson, playing the fiery Effie White, who stole nearly every scene with her powerhouse vocals and raw emotion. Hudson's performance earned her an Academy Award, and in that moment, the spotlight that typically followed Beyoncé shifted to someone else. For the first time, Bey wasn't the center of attention.
And the Oscar goes to Jennifer Hudson.
According to the biography Becoming Beyoncé, that shift didn't sit well. The book alleges Beyoncé felt upstaged and even distanced herself after the film's release. Then came a heartbreaking moment in 2008, when Hudson's mother, brother, and nephew were. Beyoncé skipped the funeral, despite Jay-Z attending and giving a speech. Red carpet tension followed. Polite smiles, no real warmth, no future collaborations. Jennifer may have won the Oscar, but it's Beyoncé who walked away colder than ever. Number 6 is one of the biggest, Rihanna. This one isn't explosive, it's quiet, subtle, and yet undeniably tense. Rihanna began her career under Jay-Z's mentorship, signed to Def Jam at just 17. At the time, Beyoncé was already an icon and Rihanna was the new rising star in Jay's orbit. Their early public interactions seemed friendly, but as Rihanna's fame exploded, the energy between her and Beyoncé shifted. One of the earliest wedges? A rumor that Rihanna and Jay-Z were having an affair. Even though Rihanna's publicist later admitted the story was fabricated for publicity and for a reward he would get, the fallout was real.
I was told that I would be rewarded significantly.
The narrative took on a life of its own, and Beyoncé was seen as distant. After that, things grew icy. Despite sharing ties to Jay-Z and Roc Nation, Beyoncé and Rihanna never collaborated. No duets, no joint appearances, just red carpet tension. Then came the bow down moment. That track was reportedly offered to Rihanna first, but her team passed. Beyoncé later recorded it, flipping it into an anthem of dominance. Fans took it as a statement. Beyoncé reclaiming her throne. Rihanna's subtle response? In 2013, she reposted an article calling her the Queen of Pop with the caption, "It's only March, people. 2013 is already mine." Then, in 2016, Rihanna's album Anti leaked early on Tidal, the platform co-owned by Jay-Z. While there's no proof of foul play, fans raised eyebrows. Meanwhile, Ivy Park struggled to find its footing. Rihanna's Fenty Beauty soared, earning over $500 million in its first year and shifting the entire beauty industry. There were no diss tracks, no public fights, but the tension? Unmistakable. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than shade. And finally, number 7, Mariah Carey. This one never exploded, but the tension? You could cut it with a mic stand. Mariah Carey and Beyoncé, two powerhouse vocalists, two generations of pop royalty. Yet, for all their fame, their paths have rarely crossed, and some believe that's not by accident. In 2021, legendary producer L.A. Reid stirred the pot, suggesting a versus battle between the two icons.
You really want this?
Yeah. Yes.
It's Mariah Carey versus Beyoncé. Ooh. Bring that on.
Instantly, Twitter ignited. The BeyHive came out swinging, claiming Beyoncé's stage presence and cultural impact made her untouchable. Meanwhile, the Lambs, Mariah's fiercely loyal fan base, clapped back with decades of chart toppers, vocal runs, and Billboard records. One fan put it bluntly, Mariah would eat her alive vocally. End of discussion. The artists? Not a word, no denial, no interest, just silence. But that silence only added fuel to the fire. They've never collaborated, never even shared a stage, just quiet tension and massive egos orbiting each other, like divas in parallel universes. Some rivalries are about lyrics, some are about love triangles. But this one, it's about legacy. And when two queens rule different eras, sometimes peace means staying on opposite sides of the throne. From whispered beefs to industry shade, Beyoncé has never needed to raise her voice. She just steps back and lets the silence do the talking, whether it's a one-line lyric, a missing red carpet moment, or a sudden exile from the circle. Queen Bey's moves are quiet, but they're deadly. So what do you think? Are these just industry misunderstandings? Or does Beyoncé really have a blacklist? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because if this is just the tea we know about, imagine what's still brewing behind the scenes.